What's good, everybody? MidMorningSol back at it again. Folks, it is time. The other ending for the finale. I bring to you yet another piece of the Piofiore Fate of Memories playthrough puzzle. But folks, we are nearing the end. This was quite the ride, if I do say so myself. Folks, I gotta tell you, like I said in the alternate choices ending, or alternate choices video that I've just uploaded yesterday, I still have my suspicions, and I'm pretty sure at this point y'all could guess to where it's, shit's going. But I'm curious. I'm curious at this point. But Lord, without further ado, y'all, I'm not even gonna recap that hot mess of a video. So check it out if you want to, but if not, no love lost. You're probably here for the alternate ending to the finale. So let's get it cracking. Let's get it popping. It is known as Rayon de Lumiere, I guess. Yeah, it's just there's a weird ass space between Lumi and air. So could be my wild guess, but Rayon de Lumiere means ray of light. So let us proceed, shall we? We shall. Woo, I'm so excited. I was treated by a doctor upon my return. Yeah, but unfortunately you left Lili at the factory. And we got put to sleepy by Betty by. Yeah, yep. She wasn't going to budge. I could tell very well that she had no intention of changing her mind. But was this really the right call? My mind replayed the scene over and over again. Oh, he's really mad up close. My previous thumbnail, I used Orlok with that scowl, but he's further back. Orlok was rightfully upset. With the casino raid tomorrow, we made plans to meet later tonight. I somehow made it to the church in time. I brought with me evidence of the factory's involvement in the counterfeiting. But in turn, I left the person I was supposed to protect with my life behind. Oh, Orlok, he's really upset. And rightfully so, but we told Nicola, just leave us behind. That ain't gonna cut it, Nicola. Of course, Yang is gonna eat it all up. Gee, thanks for the backhanded compliment, asshole.
そうだな。工場の位置が分かって証拠も抑えられた。俺はニコラの行動のすべてが間違ってたとは思わねえよ。先々のことを考えればな。
I guess so. The guy, Nicola, one thing we can't let slide on Nicola is the guy knows how to think well in advance. I give him that. Oh, you upset my little string bean. I don't like that. And of course, Dante's like pretty pissed too, so. Dante. He wasn't showing any anger despite being the most worried here. I'd rather he yell at me instead. The worst case scenario crossed my mind. Excuse me. At the same time, a part of me suspected that she was actually just fine. I recalled my conversation with Reeton.
君はこのところ何度も教会に通っていたね。オルロックからも聞いているよ。かわいそうに。君は彼女のことまで犠牲にするつもりなんだろう?
Henri, what the hell is he talking about?
違う。彼女を犠牲になどしない。
Oh, wow. I was surprised he showed any emotion. Yeah, he lost his cool there. What I just heard wasn't the voice of the casino's direttore. Boom! That's what I thought. That's what I thought. He is the casino's direttore. I'm like, bro, what? I'm like, what? Why does he go through that motion? Well, we'll find out. It was Reeton's voice. He must have noticed he said too much. He quickly turned around to leave. This was not the time to be in pain. Chat, you got your ribs kicked in. You could be in pain. Like, don't think you're Superman or whatever. She put her life at risk because she trusted me. We decided to change our plans so that we could rescue Liliana. We'll take action immediately. The casino will see hell tonight. Ooh! Oh my. I slowly opened my heavy eyelids. I didn't recognize this place. Okay, but we do. This is inside the casino. Where am I? I slowly sat up on the plush sofa. I don't hear the machines anymore. I wasn't entirely sure what happened, but it looked like I had been asleep the whole time. The ropes binding me were gone. I turned my head toward the knocking door. Somebody knocked? Maybe I got the TV too low. Suddenly, a person came in and bowed to me, seeing that I was awake.
当カジノへようこそいらっしゃいました。鍵の乙女。
You can cut the act, man. His elegant attire, overly polite demeanor, and theatrical gestures. I knew it was the direttore. I began speaking to him slowly and calmly. Show me your face. We get right into it. Yes. Yes. Come on. I continued to speak. You asked me before whether I would forgive his poor soul. I said I would because... Wait, I would is the right answer? I thought I wouldn't is the right answer. Oh well. I understood that he was still a child, and that his sister was his entire life. The siblings' of his parents were killed, and they were taken to another land to be raised by the mafia. I could only imagine what they went through. I kept thinking about how much sorrow he felt with the loss of his sister. So I couldn't simply dismiss his hatred for the mafia. He gave a brief sigh. He placed his hand on his mask.
私は姉をクロエを殺したファルツォーネを憎んだ。
Yep, it's Henri. It's Henri. I don't know how I feel about the hair now. That is one elaborate wig. I give you that.
すべてはファルツォーネとファルツォーネが執着するこの町を潰すため。クロエが死んだ日から今日までのすべてを私は復讐に費やしてきた。
And you committed crimes for that purpose.
手段は選ばなかった。私は彼らを許さない。絶対に。彼らを潰すためなら何でもすると決めた。私は神を信じない。だから神の罰など怖くはない。神はクロエを選びながらクロエを救わなかった。そんな力なき存在を恐れはしない。
Yikes. You. I stopped myself from interrupting, seeing him shackled to his twisted revenge. I'm sure Henri already knows. Or, I read that wrong. I'm sure Henri knows already. Even if God didn't punish Henri, what he was doing was wrong. Henri, why did you come to the church? Why did you keep talking to me?
鍵の乙女に選ばれた君を知りたかった。些細な好奇心だよ。
Was it now? I like how he still has those crazy gestures as the direttore, even though Henri is like the polar opposite.
この計画が動き出せば、君が犠牲になる。いや、君を犠牲にする可能性が高かった。
Henri looked at me with his cold eyes as he continued without any emotion.
鍵の乙女を使えば、ファルツォーネを罠にかけることが容易になる。だから、すべてを始める前に会っておこうと思った。姉の次に選ばれたのはどんな子なのかと。
But I'm still alive. You haven't sacrificed me. Don't give him any inspiration, girl. Just keep a cool head about it. You warned me to stay far away from the mafia, but I hadn't budged at all. I couldn't stay away because I wanted to do everything I could to help them. You were warning me to stay away so that I wouldn't get caught up in your plan, weren't you? You helped me when I was caught in the chaos in town. He could have turned a blind eye to me, but he came to help me.
助けるつもりなどなかったよ。
Bullshit?
君のことを心配するのはやめる。あの言葉は本心だった。はずだった。
His face twisted in pain.
君とはもう関わらないつもりだったのに。どうしてか教会に足が向いた。君が騒ぎに巻き込まれているのを目にすれば、考える間もなく飛び出してしまった。人を犠牲にすることに慣れた私が。
That part he ain't lying on. He is quick to drop somebody. Henri chuckled to himself with scorn.
君とクロエはどこか似ている。それが鍵の乙女だからなのかは私にもわからないが、君とクロエが違う人間だと分かっていながら、私は君の中にいつしかその面影を求めていた。
Oh yeah. When you quote unquote found her in me, I died as a result.
いつしかクロエに似ている君を私は犠牲にしたくないと思い始めた。君はクロエとは違う別人なのだと確信したくて何度も君に会いに行って、ようやくあの時になって初めて君とクロエは別の人間なのだと心から理解した。
He's referring to. I think I know exactly what he's referring to.
君は似ているけれど違う。
The room filled with silence. How long had we been looking at each other? Henri suddenly mumbled.
幼かった私はクロエに自由を与えてあげることができなかった。
Didn't you push her off the cliff?
何もできないまま死なせてしまった。だから同じ役目を負い教会で育ち、自由もなくこの町から出ることもできず生きている君を外に連れ出したかったのかもしれない。たとえそれが一時のことでも。あの日は君も笑ってくれた。今思い返すとそれが少し嬉しいよ。
Oh, the walking. Yeah. Taking a walk in the morning feels so good. That's right. I enjoyed our stroll that morning so much that I hope we can go again. Girl, just as long as you don't go near no damn cliffs, I feel like he'll push you off too.
君とは少なからず言葉を交わしてきたけれど、君を笑顔にすることができたのはあの時くらいだったから。
I mean, you could probably bring a smile on my face in other ways if you weren't so fucking crazy. Henri. His words brought a sharp pain to my heart. He closed his eyes, then placed the mask back on his face to end the conversation. I don't know, it looked weird. I'm so used to...
じきに舞台は終幕を迎える。君には私と共に来てもらおう。
It looked weird, but he still looked cute. The casino hall echoed with the sounds of gunfire and screams. Dante must have begun their attack. The patrons who were gambling were now running for their lives. The mafia soldiers pointed their guns at them as they led them outside. Lili! Oh, Orlok shouted my name, the first to notice my presence. Henri was behind me with his gun pointed to me. Nicola, you bastard. I'm just kidding. I told you to run.
約束したよね。君を迎えに来た。
He must have escaped safely. Seeing him here made me sigh in relief. Dante saw Henri and began to speak in a harsh voice.
ディレットーレ、お前の目的はファルツォーネに対する復讐だろう。
Wait, how does Dante know? Well, oh yeah, he probably put 2 and 2 together with Chloe, thinking that Chloe got clapped by the Falzone, so he wants to beget blood for blood.
そう、これはクロエの復讐ですよ、ファルツォーネ様。
Henri, please.
ファルツォーネの宿命にお前の姉を、いや、お前たちを巻き込んだことには謝罪する。
Henri quietly listened to what Dante was saying. Listen to him. He's not his father. The mask he wore hid his expression.
俺はその責任を負うのはカポである自分だけでいい。鍵の乙女を巻き込みたくはないと思っていた。先代も同じ気持ちだっただろう。クロエを、お前たちの両親を犠牲にしたくなかったはずだ。
巻き込みたくない？上辺だけなら何とでも言えるでしょう。その証拠に今もまたファルツォーネは鍵の乙女に無理を強いているではありませんか？その言葉が正しいかどうかは本当は君が一番わかっているんじゃない？君だって彼女と話したんだろ
？Henri quietly turned his attention to Nicola.
君は何もかもをファルツォーネのせいにしたいみたいだけど、でも本当は気づいているはずだ。彼女がどういう人間か、どうして僕たちに関わり続けるのか。
I began to speak, seeing Henri go silent. I'm not being forced to help them. They aren't using me either. They tried to protect me. I turned to Henri and tried to reach him with my honesty. I wanted to get involved with them. I wanted to help Erlone in any way I could.
そもそも誰が鍵の乙女になるかはファルツォーネの預かり知らないこと。鍵の乙女を選ぶのは人の範囲にない力。ダンテたちを責めても意味がない。もし信仰が教国が悪いというのなら俺たちは甘んじて受け入れるけど。
責任転嫁に過ぎません。それでファルツォーネの罪が消えるとでも？
I mean, yeah, he's got a point.
ところで、その罪とは何を指す？
Yang smiled teasingly.
お前の姉は先代のファルツォーネ当主に惚れていたそうだが、お前たちがこの町に来た頃、先代にはすでに婚約者がいたという話だ。まさかそれが悪いとでも言うのか？ファルツォーネに非があると？一人思い込み恋に狂っただけ。罪があるとすればその女だろう。
Yang, need I remind you, I'm in his possession, and he has a gun to me. I don't think pissing him off would be smart idea. Please don't. I could tell Henri's emotions were rising inside of him, hearing Yang blame of Chloe. Yeah, is that what you want to do? Blame a dead person.
それでもファルツォーネがクロエを殺したことには変わりはない。
そうか？彼女は自殺だったんだろ？ファルツォーネが直接手を下したわけじゃねえ。
Okay, they need to clarify this. Did she jump, or was she pushed off, or was it really an accident? I wanted to think, initially I thought suicide, but like, I don't know. Usually you would leave a note of, you know, your final words, and they would know, okay, yeah, she took her own life because of the, you know.
そんな嘘で私を騙せるとでもクロエは殺されたんだ。
こっちも当時の事件を担当した刑事に聞いてる。自殺か、じゃなけりゃ事故で間違いねえって話だ。少なくともマフィアによるものじゃない。お前は当時から疑ってたようだがな。
ブルローネの警察など信用できない。マフィアにおもねるためなら平気で嘘をつく。クロエは確かに殺された。私の目の前で銃に撃たれて。
The hell? Shot? Wait, Henri, Chloe died falling from a cliff. Did you really see Chloe being shot and killed?
私、銃で。いや、クロエはナイフに刺されて。
Okay, you're being as uncertain as the rumors that were spread around the time of her death. So that's not helping. But what the hell is going on in this office?
違う。彼女は毒を飲まされて。
彼女の死因は溺死だった。上がった遺体に銃創はなかったはずだ。
海に。
Henri was holding his head in his hand as if he was in great pain.
そもそもマフィアが手を下すなら遺体が上がるような処理はしないが、姉が死んだ当時ならともかく今のお前はそれくらい理解できるだろう。
違う。私はクロエのために彼女を苦しめた者に復讐を。
I turned completely around to face him, his gun now pointed at my chest. I spoke to Henri, who was mumbling in pain. Henri, would Chloe want revenge? You said to me that I'm just like her. This is just me, but if I were in her situation, I wouldn't want to be avenged, even with all that has happened. I wouldn't want my brother to suffer. He gritted his teeth, holding back the pain. Henri. I slowly lowered his arm with the gun in his hand. It slipped and fell onto the ground. You're lucky that shit didn't go off. Then suddenly... Ah, no! Again with this boom! I'm sick of explosions! The casino shook with a violent explosion. Ah! Henri immediately pushed me hard toward Dante. What? Dante embraced me before I could fall. The explosions continued, and soon the hall was filled with smoke. Flames began to engulf the area. Henri! I called his name, but he didn't respond. He slowly walked away, toward the flame, like an idiot. Ah! Dante pulled me back as I tried to go after Henri. I looked up at Dante. He silently shook his head. And then I was forcefully dragged out of the burning casino. Henri!
落ち着くんだ、リリー。
I turned around and looked at everyone. I'm so sorry. I forced myself out of Dante's hands. Girl, you running back into the building? Girl, you crazy. I need to go.
Lili, ダメだ.
I'm sorry. I can't leave them. I can't leave him there. The flames brought fear into my heart. Wait, what the hell? Is that the sky? It looks kind of pretty. Despite that, I was moved to action by an emotion I couldn't describe. Girls caught love. This got you doing dumb shit. I ran into the burning casino. I walked through the casino hall aimlessly. The mask in my hand fell to the floor.
私は悪夢を見ていた。目覚めている間さえずっと。私のせいには何の救いも与えられなかった。神は私を導きはしない。
Why did she die without me? Why did she leave me only with hatred?
この手を汚したとき、引き返せないと悟った。どれほど苦しくとも。
I dropped to my knees amid the searing heat and slowly closed my eyes. You idiot!
ようやく終わらせることができる。
I can finally be saved. Suddenly, Henri! The voice was too vivid to be a dream. I turned around, fear gripping my chest.
どうして？
She wasn't supposed to be here. This place will continue to crumble and burn to ruins.
どうして来たんだ、リリアーナ。
This is your lover's route. I came for you. She yelled, frightened, and grabbed my arm. Why is she touching me? Doesn't she know I'm the most unsightly being to ever exist? I could tell that the way out was already engulfed in flames.
このまま彼女を連れてはいけない。
She. Liliana isn't Chloe.
こっちだ。
I mustered the strength to start walking. Liliana was looking at me with hesitation and fear in her face. She quietly followed.
生きていてほしい。
She has to. Henri? He quietly touched the base of the statue, which started to move. The statue sunk into the ground, opening a hidden path heading down.
ここに入るんだ。 この地下通路はブルローネの外までつながっている。
No, you're good with me. But
私は一緒には行けない。
yes, you can. Stop that.
リリアーナ。
Oh, he has a really sad face. Oh. Henri urged me to go, but I couldn't let go of his hand now. What are you going to do? Are you staying here?
それは
Henri's expression revealed his intentions to me. I quickly shook my head. I won't let you go. If you stay, I'll stay. He frowned at me as he began to speak in an irritated tone.
死にたいのか。なぜそんなわがままを。
I don't. And I don't want you to die either. Please, Henri, come with me. The fire was getting stronger as we argued. I knew I was being selfish, but I had no plans on letting him go. I didn't want him to die. Henri gave a weary sigh as the billowing smoke continued to fill the room.
行こう。
Yes! Waiting for him to walk first, I stepped into the underground exit. What the fuck? This looks like this connects to the Falzone Manor. What the fuck? This is the same dank underground place. It looked like the smoke hadn't gone through here. The air was damp and cold. Loud ass noises. Suddenly, the place shook. Debris fell and mercilessly blocked our way out. Ah! The shaking caused me to let go of Henri as I fell to the ground. He quickly reached out to me, but his hand stopped moving midway. Bitch, how you gonna let me fall to the ground? He quietly looked at me and spoke with a hesitant voice.
大丈夫か。
You could have broke my fall. It would have been more romantic. Yes. I smiled as I got up. Fire was no longer a threat. But thinking that I could have died out there brought a chill over my body. Still, I was feeling relieved now that Henri was here with me. I dusted myself off and turned to Henri. Henri, where does this lead to?
このカジノができる以前から存在していた通路だと聞いている。私も実際に使ったことはない。以前見た地図が正しければ、1日ほど歩けば街の外に出る。ここからは君一人で。
Come with me, Henri. Knowing what I was going to say, Henri went quiet. He tiredly closed his eyes.
本当にわがままだな。
I'm sorry.
君のわがままを否定できるだけの理屈を今の私は持ち合わせていない。
With that, Henri looked away from me and continued walking. I hurriedly followed to keep pace behind him. Okay, never mind. I guess it's a more elaborate underground path. Henri quietly continued on his way. It was almost winter. The air in the passage was cold. Oh, excuse me, y'all. He was walking slowly ahead of me, as if he were dragging himself forward with each step. I tried to keep up with him, but the frigid cold was making it difficult to match his pace. I was tripping a lot more now. I tried my best to hide the cold was eating away at the warmth in my body. Henri suddenly stopped. Henri? I looked up at him hesitantly. Henri's eyes were looking at me with a hesitance as well. He sighed, then took his coat off. He placed his coat over me, then sat us down beside each other. Henri?
少し休んでくれ。
Henri whispered quietly. His eyes were staring into the open space. There were a lot of questions I had for him, but feeling his warmth was lulling me to sleep. Henri, my body was at its limit. Unable to find. I know they're freaking out up front. Dante was yelling angrily. The firefighters, police, and even the mafia were trying to extinguish the flames. The members who attacked the factory joined the effort as well. But this was no ordinary fire. The explosions were so strong that, despite everyone's effort, the fire showed no sign of diminishing. What kind of chemical did he have? Gilbert was quietly glaring at the casino when suddenly he took his jacket. Let me read that again. Gilbert was quietly glaring at the casino when suddenly he took off his jacket.
よし、さっきより火の勢いが弱まったな。これくらいならいけるだろう。やめろ！何度言わせるんだ！死ぬぞ！
Oliver was trying his best to stop Gilbert from charging into the casino.
レッドホードは本当に死にたいらしい。そろそろ行かせてやったらどうだ。
Of course this hussy would want Gil to kill himself. Hearing Yang's ridiculous jesting, the usually quiet Orlok went into a fury.
どうしてそんなに冷静でいられる？彼女がまだ中にいるのに。
Oh no! You're really pissing off my little string bean. I don't like him seeing. I don't like to see him like that. I don't like to see. Come here and let Mama Mid-Morning hug you, coddle you.
生死がかかる瞬間は面白いが、結果が見えた局面に興味はなくてな。この中に飛び込めば確実に死ぬ。それがわからんなら試してみるがいい。
Orlok clenched his fist. He wanted to dive into the fire too, but he knew well enough that he couldn't. I looked up at the burning casino. Oh, damn, excuse me. Her words crossed my mind. I'll be fine. I also need to meet him anyway. I need to meet him as the Key Maiden. No, as Liliana Adornado. The flames continued its wrath on the casino. Unable to fight back, I slowly closed my eyes. I slowly opened my eyes. I recalled what happened, seeing him beside me and feeling his warmth. I'm sorry. I must have fallen asleep.
いや、もう少し休むといい。
Seeing the situation we were in, I couldn't possibly sleep now. I slowly looked up at his face. Did he not sleep? It looked like he was gazing into the air. He didn't seem to have slept for a moment. Aren't you tired, Henri?
ああ。眠れなくてもまだ少し休んでくれ。先は長い。十分な休息を取らなければ君の足が持たなくなる。
If you're not going to sleep, then I want to talk with you.
またそれか。話があるなら聞くが、私から君に話せるようなことは何もないよ。
What do you mean? There's a lot I want to ask you. I want to know you better. Wait, did I read that right? I want you to know you better. Okay. Sorry, y'all, it's late. Remember when we talked about you before? How you were born in France, then came to this town? What happened after that? I heard you were later adopted by someone in the Falzone family.
それは
Lili asking all the good questions. And I'm not being sarcastic when I say that. Henri looked reluctant to speak. I could feel his arm around me get tense. Should I have not asked about that?
いや、いいだろう。少し話そう。君はまだ私がどれだけ汚れているのか分かっていないようだから。
Oh my. Huh?
ファルツォーネは血統を重んじる一族だ。桃園といえど、それは変わらない。そんな家がどこの馬の骨とも知れない人間を喜んで迎え入れると思うか。しかも当主の妻と子を殺しかけた女の弟だ。彼らは私を。
Henri's voice began to tremble. I held tightly onto his clothes.
私は彼らのはけ口になった。養子とは名ばかりで狭い部屋に閉じ込められ、食事も満足に与えられなかった。たとえ私が死のうと構わなかったのだろう。むしろ彼らにとってはその方が都合が良かった。
Wow. So no wonder he burnt down the house. I'm saying like it's a regular ass house. The manor. And he was the only one left because he did it. He closed his eyes as if remembering.
一家にはクロエと同じくらいの娘がいて、彼女だけは私にも優しくしてくれた。
I took a deep breath. Someone cared about you, Henri.
私が顔を殴られそうになると止めてくれたよ。せめて他の場所にしてくれと。
Huh?
彼女は私を優しく懐柔して少しすると遊び相手を強要するようになった。
I don't think it's at surface level.
私は一度だって望んだことはなかったが。
Wait, Henri. I trembled as I spoke his name. Henri ignored me and continued.
いろんなことをさせられたけれど、上手にできるとパンをくれた。それがなければ私はとうに死んでいたよ。私はただ生きるために。
Yeah, god dog it. There's somebody who's like going ham with some daggone fireworks outside. Ugh. I mean, y'all can't hear it, but I hear it. Because it's like a considerable distance away. But still, it's fucking annoying.
人としての尊厳を売り渡した。
That is horrible.
私は神を、この世界のすべてを呪った。私からすべてを奪ったファルツォーネを憎まずにはいられなかった。憎まなければ正気を保てなかった。いや、今思えばとっくに狂っていたのだろうけれど。
Henri snickered coldly. Henri.
神を恨んだことは。
My answer to Henri then, if someone precious to me were being threatened with danger, and if no one would help, then I may curse God.
私は神を信じない。だから神の罰など怖くはない。神はクロエを選びながらクロエを救わなかった。そんな力なき存在を恐れはしない。
It wasn't just Chloe who couldn't be saved. Henri was left to face life alone. He lived a life of suffering with no one to help him and no one to save him. Just thinking about that made me sick.
それから私と遊んでいる最中の不幸な事故でその娘が死んで。その日、私は生きるためにその家の人間を全員殺した。でなければ私が殺されていたから。
I listened as Henri recounted the events of matter-of-factly. I couldn't say a word.
私は一人フランスに戻った。生きるために使えるものはすべて使ったよ。何も持っていなかったから最初は自分を、そのうちに他人を利用する術を身につけた。イタリアから来た留学生であるセバスティアーノ・ガリエと出会って親しくなり、彼を殺し成り代わった。
Wow. Wow. Yikes. Jesus.
仮名を手に入れるためだ。彼の家族もすべて殺した。数えきれないほど私は罪を犯した。君は私を許すと言ってくれたけれど、私は手を差し伸べてもらう資格などない。それほどまでに私は醜い。
Henri.
私は人間の醜悪さを知っている。 自分を含めさまざまな悲喜劇を目にしてきた。君はそう思わないかもしれないが、生きているものは汚いよ。だから私は人間が嫌いだ。触れたくもない。
But now, Henri was holding me in his arms. Is Henri forcing himself to hold me?
復讐だけを考えながら、なぜ私はまだ生きているのかと疑問に思ったこともある。生きていても楽しいことは何もなかった。苦しさは増すだけだ。
Henri. I didn't know what to say. Henri's words hit something inside me. Oh. Tears began rolling down my cheeks. I'm sorry, Henri.
どうして？私に触れられるのが嫌か。
I don't think she cares, bro. No, that's not it. I thought before that you probably lived alone all your life. I thought you hated the mafia because of all the suffering you went through. Excuse me. But I couldn't have been more wrong. I wasn't even close to understanding how much you've suffered. Even his warmth, which comforted me, only brought him pain. My being here with him must be making him suffer. I'm so sorry, Henri. Henri looked at me, troubled. He kept opening his mouth as if he wanted to say something to me, but closed it again. Henri finally spoke in a sad voice. He firmly held me closer to him, as if he was trying to calm me.
話は終わりだ。もう忘れていい。
How can I forget? I was having a hard time breathing. Sorrow gripped my heart as I felt his warmth. I couldn't hold back my tears as I leaned against him. I wonder how long it's been. Henri, I'm fine now. He slowly released his hold on me. I'm sorry. You must have been cold too. I gave the coat back to him. Henri quietly took it from my hand.
Liliana.
Huh? Henri awkwardly lent his hand to me. Huh? I looked at the black glove on his hand for a moment. If Henri's alright, then... I hesitantly reached out to him. He twitched the moment I touched his hand. I quickly tried to withdraw it, or my hand, but Henri took it and held it. Henri. Henri started to walk and I followed. I could feel his warmth through his glove. We continued hand in hand as we searched for the exit. After a long walk and After a long walk and frequent rest along the way, we finally made it out. I couldn't tell what time it was underground, but it looked like the sun was about to set.
夕日の方角から見て、向こうがブルローネだ。君は町に、君を待つ人々のもとに帰るといい。
What about you, Henri?
どのみち私は処分されるだろう。ブルローネマフィアか、さもなくば政府に。私に残された償いの方法はそれだけだ。
He smiled slightly.
私には生きる場所も生きる理由もない。いや、最初からどちらもなかったことに今になって気づいただけか。
I looked at his sad smile.
神様のお導きだとでも。復讐は愚かな行いだ。知っているとも。今もよく夢を見るよ。姉の夢を。生きていた頃も死んだ後のことも。
Then just make a new place to live. If not in this country, somewhere else. I'll go with you. My words came out without thought. Maybe I was already intent on it. The moment I jumped into the fire, yeah, it's a pretty big commitment. That was the moment I realized I didn't want to lose him. Henri was staring at me with a bewildered look on his face. He looked at me like a lost child. Excuse me, sorry y'all. I don't want to let go of his hand.
どうしてそんなことを言う？君はこの町が好きだと言っていた。
You sure did. But I love you even more, apparently.
この町とここに住む人々を全てを捨てるのか？私の手を取るために。
Keep in mind, Lili, this fool done killed people, and if you remind him of Chloe, he snaps. Just saying, but do it for the name of love. Do it for the gods.
どうして？
I don't know. But I want to show you, Henri. I want to show you there's so much joy and happiness in this world. It can't be only pain or suffering. My eyes welled with tears as I recalled what he had been through. Sorry, it's not boring. I'm just tired. I'm sure you can find a reason to live. Dying won't absolve you of your sins, so you need to live, Henri. If you sincerely feel sorry for all those you sacrificed, then live, no matter what. That will be your punishment.
私が殺した人々はそんな未来を許すか？彼らは私の死を望んでいるはずだ。
I don't know the feelings of those people, but I do know this. Your death won't save anyone. And I don't want you to die. Henri looked as though he was about to cry. Oh. Asking him to live must be a very cruel thing to him. But I won't let his hand go. I'll hold Henri's read that wrong. I'll hold Henri's hand tight. I just want to be by his side. That was my wish. Let me get my hair ready for the button. A few months passed since the casino fire. We continued to hold our meetings at the church. Berlone had not yet settled down. We had a pile of work ahead of us.
ディレットーレの配下の残党、ようやく始末がついた。
教国は通貨同盟の解散を呼びかけた。名ばかりの存在でもまた利用されることがないように。
As usual, everyone reported on the results of their work. We looked at each other and nodded.
リリーから手紙が届いた。
Huh? Oh.
生きてるのか。そりゃよかった。
We couldn't find her body in the casino, so we began searching for her whereabouts. Time passed with no new developments. Then suddenly, we received a letter from her.
僕たちに詫びていたよ。よくしてくれたのに何も返せなくてごめんなさいって。
そんなことを。
ということはあの男も生きているか。まさか見過ごしはしないだろうな。
そりゃな。だが今まで俺たちがいくら探っても足取りがつかめなかったんだ。あいつはこれまでもうまく渡ってきたんだろう。見つけ出すのには骨が折れるだろうな。
そうだな。
ブルローネマフィアの面目丸つぶれだな。
Gilbert laughed and shrugged at Yang's remark.
ま、気長に探すさ。
Ooh. New place. Who dis? Henri and I were I put a word in there. Henri and I were together now. We ran off to a remote village in France. We bought a rundown church and were using it for children orphaned by the war. Aww. We were living a life in peace and quiet. I didn't say farewell to Berlone, so I sent a letter just once to the Berlone Mafia. It was my only way of apologizing to them after all they've done for me. I also wrote my appreciation too. Days passed when suddenly he appeared in front of us. Who?
Yeah.
How the hell did you find us in another country? Emilio? Henri's face hardened, seeing Emilio suddenly appear in the village. Do those two know each other? Emilio was, as usual, speaking to us without a care in the world.
彼らは君が思うほど怒っていないよ。
Oof. They. Wait, you mean Emilio known what I was what let me read that again. Emilio must have known what I was going to say. He smiled at me in reply. Really?
ああ、彼らは君を恨んではいないし、むしろ心配しているくらいだよ。
Emilio glanced at Henri.
もっとも、彼らにはマフィアの矜持がある。そこの彼のことは見過ごせない立場だ。
Well, don't go blabbing to them where we are.
彼を生かすには、こうして行方をくらませて他国へ逃げるしかなかっただろうね。
Yeah. Henri didn't say a word. Emilio continued.
君たちがいつか何かに困ることがあれば、峡谷を頼るといい。
Interesting.
星の定めるところとはいえ、君にも彼にも 迷惑をかけたのは事実だから。
The young man lowered his beautiful head apologetically.
僕はこれからも君たちの行く末を見守るよ。そして必要があればいつでも手を差し伸べよう。僕たち、いや、僕からのせめてもの償いだ。
Emilio. I was about to ask him something when... Oh no! The laundry was fluttering on the lines as I ran to the children trying to hold the laundry down. I could see her fighting the laundry fluttering in the high winds.
峡谷の使者よ、一つ尋ねていいかな。
なんなりと迷える子羊に道を指し示すのが僕たちの仕事だからね。
君がどこまで知っているのかは知らないが、私は罪を犯した。自らの苦痛を拭うために多くの人を陥れ、多くの命を奪ってきた。私は決して許されるべきではない。いずれ時を経て、私は誰かの怨嗟によって殺されるかもしれない。それも仕方のないことだと、どんな報復を身に受けても当然だと思っている。
それで
He didn't look any different since I last saw him. He looked calmly at me.
だが、彼女はどうなる？私のそばにいることで、彼女が罰せられはしないだろうか。
君の問いかけに答えよう、アンリ。
He gazed at me with a serious expression.
人は罪を犯せば必ず罰を受ける。君にもいずれ報いが来るだろう。それが罪というものの仕組みだ。罪と罰は分かてないもの。
I listened intently to his words.
けれど彼女が誰と生きることを選ぼうと、その行為そのものが罪となりうることはないだろう。神は本来人間の罪悪を許すもの、罰するものではないのだから。
神の教えは私にはもう理解できない。信じることもできそうにない。だが、彼女が罰せられないならそれでいい。
アンリ、君がもし彼女のことを思うなら、ただ悔い改めて生きるといい。もう分かっているだろう。君の死を望まなかったのは神じゃない、彼女だ。
I lowered my eyes as Emilio continued.
君は今も変わらず夢を見るのかい？
How did he know that? I stopped myself from asking. It doesn't make sense to ask at this point. And I'm not quite, and I'm not sure I want to know the answer. It was clear to me that he lived outside the natural law of this world. He looked no different from now, he looked no different now from the moment I first met him when I was a child. The fuck? Whose soul did you eat? Emilio to keep that youthful appearance.
夢は見る時々。
いつか夢を見なくなる日が来るといいね。
君の言葉はありがたいが、この夢が消える日は訪れないだろう。私は永遠にあの悪夢から逃れられない。生きている限りずっと縛られる。自らが犠牲にしてきたものの怨嗟を、呪いの声を聞き続けるだろう。
苦しくはないのかい？死にたくはならない？
It was quite a thing to say, considering the church condemned suicide. Emilio was smiling as if he knew what the answer to my question would be. I answered with honesty.
今は以前ほど苦しくないよ。それはきっと目覚めた時、そばに彼女がいてくれるから。
I had been living in a nightmare ever since I lost my sister. I couldn't tell whether the nightmares I had at night were real or not.
目に映るものすべてが汚らわしく見えた。自分も他人も血も肉もすべて。
But now I know the dream I have is a dream. My reality has become a life with Liliana beside me. I looked at the palm of my hands.
最初は彼女にも触れられたくなかった。そのうち私が触れてはいけない気がして、彼女を遠ざけなければならないと思うようになった。そして今は、
As I fell into a sea of thought alone, Emilio was looking at me with a warm smile.
僕も祈るよ。君たちの歩んでゆく未来にどうか幸せのあらんことを。
Aww. Whew. Thanks to the children, I was able to gather the laundry together before it flew away. I lifted up the hefty basket with all my might. I followed after the kids who were running happily back inside.
私が持とう。
Ah. Henri was standing beside me and extended his hand out to help. Oh, I'm fine. Lily, why are you looking like like you left the oven on or some shit? Give your man some sugar. His hair tickled me as it blew in the breeze. It didn't take long for me to notice that he had kissed me gently on the cheek. I couldn't seem to get my thoughts together. My cheek? He kissed me? Henri took the basket from my hands, seeing that I was frozen in my tracks. Huh? What? Even though I couldn't, even then I couldn't get myself to think straight. Wait, Henri? As I called out to him, he turned around and smiled. I hurriedly chased after him to ask him what happened. What was that? Why did... Henri touched me when we were making our escape from the underground passage. But since then, even after escaping here, he hadn't touched me at all. Hey, Henri! Let's do some more things! Henri didn't answer and headed inside. As I gave chase, I could feel my cheek getting unusually hot. I wasn't sure why, but I added a word there. But all I knew was that my heart was racing when he kissed me. Whoa, what is this white on white crap? I can barely see this text. I still don't know what this feeling is, but I only ask that Henri continues to smile. I pray from the bottom of my heart that his pain and suffering will one day disappear. Yikes, that was an eye strain. Game, come on now. Alright. That was cute. That was cute. That was cute. Alright. So that does it. That is the playthrough for Piofiore. Pretty much the main story, right? The main story is 100% donezo. But the game is not finished. We are going to finish the last part of the playthrough. We're going to finish it with the next video, and that will entail the Prologo 1926 and the Presagio. Let me see if I said that right. Presagio. Okay. So folks, I hope you'll join me for that. And oh my gosh, y'all. We're just about done. Y'all, I will say this ending with Henri being able to escape with Liliana and they ran towards France. You know, I like it. I want to see what happens afterwards if they have to still go on the run. They probably still do, because the mafia is going to be after they're behind. But the only disappointing thing so far is that I'm wondering, like, why it wasn't talked about with Silvio dying at the hands of Orlok and how they would treat that. Because that got talked about in Orlok's route for sure, because that was the main issue of him killing Silvio. So I wanted to know, like, who set up the job for Orlok to kill Silvio, but I guess we won't know that, right? Also, y'all, yeah, with this chapter, with this ending rather, we do get a lot of closure for what's going on. I knew Henri was the Direttore, like I said. We never saw them in the same shot, basically. And, you know, once, like in the other ending, when Dante or somebody called him the Direttore Riton, and the Direttore didn't refuse that. I'm like, oh, okay, I see now. Yeah. So I'm like, does he wear all those gaudy clothing? Like, is that a wig and that's a costume or some junk? And I guess it is, because come his ending, he reverted back to his like blonde hair and his blazer. So that was interesting. But yeah, y'all, I mean, not much else. Of course, the game makes you feel for the antagonist. And like, you know, it was all just one big rampage of revenge. But he softened up when Lili came into the picture. But I didn't realize he had such a real stone cold blooded view on life. I was like, yikes. I didn't realize he was so bloodthirsty. But, you know, that's what it came down to. He had no problem killing. So, you know, that kind of makes me leery for, you know, pairings. But it is what it is, y'all. And, like I said, I enjoy this story. Really is like something right up my alley. I really do like the mature theme. The whatchamacallit? Mature theme. It's got its humor sprinkled through. But yeah, we'll leave that for. We'll leave this talk for another video. So, folks, that is going to do it. Next video, which is part 99, I believe. Next video, we will go ahead and finish off the chapter, or excuse me, the finale, going into the Presagio, whatever, y'all know what I mean. Presagio, Aftermath, and Henri's ending Aftermath. So, folks, thank you very much for watching. Really appreciate you stopping on by. Y'all know my philosophy on this YouTube shit. View what you wanna, do what you wanna, and I'll see you lovely lads and lassies in the next episode. So until then, my friends, take care. Take it easy.